Hello, we are Raquel Galán, María Domínguez and Pilar Almiñana. We are going to explain the human's evolution from the Australopithecus to the Homo sapiens. These are the entire human's evolution, but we are going to fix this video in the most destacable types species, along the time we can find. Pliopithecus, Proconsul, Dryopithecus, Oreopithecus, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Paranthropus, Advanced Australopithecus, Homo erectus, Early Homo sapiens, Solomon, Rhodesian man, Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon man, Model Homo sapiens.
Australopithecus. Origin. About 4 million years ago, Australopithecus appeared, specifically in the east of the African peninsula, a heterogeneous group of hominids in which several species are included. The species of this genus inhabit in Africa for a little more than 4 million years until about 2 million years ago, in the first species that separate from the great monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutan, and began the evolutionary race of the present man, because it initiates the bipedal march.
Now I'm going to explain some characteristics of the Australopithecus. Australopithecus had bipedal march, sexual dysfunction, and the height was between 1.20 and 1.40 meters. They lived in savannas and jungles, and now there's one curiosity of the Australopithecus, and it's that we can find different types of Australopithecus in this group. And Raquel is going to tell us the different types.
Okay, there are the Afarensis, Anomensis, Bargatzilla, Gary, Sediva, Africanus, and the Robustus. And the Afarensis is known as Prehomo.
The Homo habilis. Origin. They lived in Africa between 2.5 and 1.5 years earlier. His name means skillful man and refers to finding of living instrument probably made by him. It was able to grasp grip to perform the necessary manipulation of the manufacture of stone and utensils.
Homo habilis have more round skull, absence of diastema, large molars, occipital hollow locate more towards the center, and face less proneness than the Australopithecus.
Homo habilis had short face, carved toes of hands and feet, indicating that they still use trees, and the bipedal position causes in the females a reduction of the pelvis that results in an early delivery, which implies premature neonates, a longer time dedicated to the breeding, and thus the need to maintain a strong social bonds that potentially collaborate to the development of a culture.
The first tool manufacturers. Homo habilis had a brain about 4 times larger to would correspond to its size and weight. Larger brains need a good amount of energy, and the best way to get it by eating meat.
The most productive means of procuring meat is hunting, and for that better than use of tools and weapons.
Homo erectus. Origin. Homo erectus is an extinct hominid, which lived between 1.9 million years and 70,000 years before the present. Classical Homo erectus inhabit East Africa, China, and Indonesia. Fossil remains have been found in Europe.
It was characterized because its cranial capacity was larger size than its predecessors, with a corpulency and a structure similar to the one of the present humans, to walk upright since it definitely left an arboreal environment, and left corporal villi, due to friction provoked by the use of skins to protect against
He also made a stone and axes, and left the first remains of Bible houses, carved wooden objects, the first wooden spear, and the most primitive vessel, a wooden bowl. But his greatest cultural breakthrough was that he learned to handle the fire. Could the Homo erectus speak?
Good question, Raquel. Scientists believe that the Turkana's voice bone suggests no, since the nerve conducts of his vertebrae were not large enough to contain the complex system to control breathing, something that is essential when it comes to talking.
Perhaps he developed some keen and instinct language, or perhaps something similar to the groups of today teenagers, a verbal equivalent to current mobile text messages, with their portable gadgets, the protection of their communities, and the magic of fire. These individuals were ready to depart to wherever they could find food.
Homoneanderthal origin. They habit Europe and parts of Western Asia from 230,000 to 28,000 years ago, during the Middle and Upper Pleistocene, and culturally integrated in the Middle Paleolithic. The examination of ancient remains from caves of France may indicate that he lived with the men of Cro-Magnon, the first modern men in Europe.
Homo neanderthalensis is not, as it was believed, a direct ancestor of us, but was a parallel branch in the evolutionary tree that keeps many secrets. For example, we don't know why they were extinct, and we don't know if they had a language. Neanderthal man is the first species of modern mind that lived in Europe and represents a form that adapted to the hostile climate prevailing around 300,000 years.
Now you are going to learn some characteristics of the Neanderthal that are very interesting. They had cranial volume superior than ours. They were lower than us, but they had an extremely strong musculature. Their skeletons were massive, and they had prominent muscular marks, made for the not very pleasant territory in which they lived.
The factors that catches the eyes is its nose, which is large and bulbous. This adaptation serves to warm and humidify the air they inhaled, and the loose head with which they exhaled, thus protecting themselves from surfing from overhead.
And they made objects such as earrings with, for example, teeth of the animals that they catch, and they made objects such as earrings with, for example, teeth of the animals that they catch.
Now you are going to learn some characteristics of the Neanderthal that are very interesting. They had cranial volume superior than ours. They were lower than us, but they had an extremely strong musculature. Their skeletons were massive, and they had prominent muscular marks, made for the not very pleasant territory in which they lived. They couldn't make the same sounds as us, but it doesn't mean that they haven't had a language, because they obviously had a language. We don't know if it was gesticulation or other ways, and we don't know if they had syntax, grammar, or a high level of symbolic reasoning, but they should have a language.
Neanderthals don't seem to have depended on symbols, at least in the way we do. In fact, apart the tombs, it is difficult to find symbolic behaviors.
The Homo sapiens. Origin. Homo sapiens, for Latin, homo, hombre, and sapiens, wise, is a species of the order of primates belonging to the family of hominins. Humans possess mental capacities and enable them invent, learn, and utilize complex linguistic structures, logic, mathematics, writing, music, science, and technology. Humans are social animals, able to convincing, transmitting, and learning totally abstract concepts.
Sapien is trained for activities such as performing art, do sports, sing, dance, and for a large number of daily activities. So it emphasizes the ability of manipulation thanks for the opposable capacities like reasoning, perception, emotion, memory, and will. Being is an omnivorous animal from the vegetarian diet to a omnivorous diet. Made possible that the brain grow up and has more capacity.
It's in this and other senses that the human being is the most currently largest predator and the most powerful species in the planet. Remains fragile in the face of possible cataclysmic events that could affect in its habitat, such as glaciations.
The Homo sapiens being a very vulnerable animal in the state of nature is very dependent on the technology. Humans established that it's better to rationalize the means that nature gives them and replicate them in an industrial way.
Bye.